I would like to say first that I'm opting for a little natural sunlight in this video. So if you had a hard time seeing anything, or there's like way too much shadow on my face from my hat, or you can't see the beer or anything, just put that in the comments below. I just figured since I'm doing, it's 12:18 on my microwave, since I'm doing something, right smack in the middle of the day, I figured I'd opt for some natural sunlight. Anyways, let's get into why we're here. And that is the Insane OG Be Real remix, which is part of the Strain series from Sweetwater. Sweetwater is out of Atlanta, Georgia. I said this for the 420 review, but I went to the SEC Championship one year, and I came out of it, and it was like we stumbled right upon Sweetwater. At least their production facility. I don't know if the entire company is right there at that location, but it was pretty big. So Sweetwater, what Samuel Adams is to Massachusetts, I would say Sweetwater is to Georgia. Sweetwater, they're definitely in the top 50 biggest breweries in the country. I think they're even top 25. They're fairly big. I don't know what their distribution looks like though, so I don't know how easy it would be to get this beer. Insane OG is a Mexican style craft lager, and it comes in at 5.6% alcohol. So, I picked up a 6-pack, haven't tried it yet. But it's definitely a sessionable beer. If you find you like this beer and you want some more, you definitely could even probably knock back the whole 6-pack, in half a day and be feeling okay. Before I go any further, I would like to clarify, Be Real is from Cypress Hill. They're a rap group from the 90s and the early 2000s. I don't know terribly too much about them, and I regret that reviewing this beer. I should have done some research. They may even have some material from the 80s. I don't know. Fans of Cypress Hill will have to clarify all that in the comments. I do know they have a huge hit from the 90s, Insane in the Brain. Everybody knows it, and if you don't, go look it up right now on YouTube, and then come back to this video after you've heard Insane in the Brain. But I would like to read the back of this bottle. And it says, "We turn to a couple true OGs for this collab. Cypress Hill's Be Real and his Insane OG. Dr. Green Thumb himself helped nail down the recipe for this intense Mexican style lager. Pick it, crack it, drink it up. Come along." I'm assuming by the back of this can, and I think I read a little bit online, that Insane OG is Be Real's strain of weed that he likes to smoke. I can't verify that, Again, I don't know terribly a whole lot about these guys, but it was an interesting beer. I have a very big appreciation for rap and hip hop. I do know Insane in the Brain, and then cool little tidbit. I posted this on Instagram that I got the beer, and Cypress Hill slapped me in a Cypress Hill story. So that was really cool. I even messaged them, thanks for the love, and they messaged back, thanks for the plug. So, they seem like cool dudes, and I definitely want to get more into Cypress Hill outside of like the couple of hits that they have. It's always fun supporting, like celebrities and artists that are down to earth people. Not gonna lie, my channel is not safe for kids, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say I am not unfamiliar to marijuana. I'm not going to disclose if I still smoke it or not, but I will say that this smells skunky like marijuana. And if you're not familiar with marijuana, this may smell bad to you. I'm just going to go ahead and say that straight up. This is pungent. Now, when I get underneath the skunkiness of the terpenes, or what exactly they infuse this beer with. I get like a malty lager-like backbone. It's real biscuity and crisp. It's, you know, I feel like I can smell like a crispness to a beer, and I smell that for sure. Yeah, I don't think I get terribly too much more out of this. Just again, it's like super dank, not hop dank, marijuana dank. Just straight out of the bottle, it like hits you, and then the aroma is just a lager-like biscuity, malty presence. Not too much on the hops. If there's hop presence in here, I'm going to be honest, that dankness from the marijuana is overshadowing any grassy hop flavors, which I would assume would be the case. I did not go over appearance. It looks like a lager. It's pretty clear. You know, it's not the clearest beer in the world. It's not like water or anything, but I can definitely see through it. Not a lot of action going on in here, but there are bubbles floating to the top. And then as I was talking about the beer, obviously it dissipated, but there is a thin film of pearly white head on the surface of the beer. So, pretty interesting taste. I'm expecting hops, but I'm getting a different type of grassy bitterness. I can definitely tell it's not like a hoppy thing. Let me try one more time. This is it says a strange new strain indeed on the back of the bottle, and this beer is strange for sure. Yeah, I get it tastes skunky as well. So you can definitely taste. I don't want to say marijuana because I think on the website it said terpenes. Like they extracted some things out of the Insane OG, and didn't just dump a bunch of marijuana in the beer. But I definitely get the components that they took from the Insane OG. I definitely get that in here. It's right up front and smacks you in the mouth for sure. Once you kind of wade through that skunkiness, that dankness, the Mexican lager really comes through, and you get a nice biscuity, malty presence with, and I believe there's some hop presence on the back end. I just couldn't pick it up on the nose. It's like a very delicate, earthy, floral kind of thing. It reminds me a lot of Modelo Especial, which I'm not privy to Mexican lagers. This is probably the second or third Mexican lager I've ever had in my life. But I am reminded of Especial when I kind of wade through the dankness of the infusion, you know, whatever that is, the Insane OG. Recommendations. This is a straight up novelty beer for sure. If you're a fan of Cypress Hill, and again, this channel should be safe from kids, so I feel comfortable saying this. If you smoke marijuana or whether that be for medicinal or recreational, I would recommend this to you. I think potheads might be interested in this, or medicinal users. If you're a really big fan of Sweetwater, I would recommend this. Now, from the outside coming in, even if you like Mexican lagers, if you're not privy to marijuana or hip hop culture or that kind of thing, this is probably going to be a turnoff for you. Skunkiness is a beer off flavor. And in most cases, I would say this beer is off. It tastes off, like something happened to the beer. And so I just wouldn't recommend it to beginners. I definitely wouldn't recommend this to beginners, or even fans of lagers that aren't privy to what marijuana is or what it smells like or that kind of thing. But overall, I like it for what it is. It was exactly as it was advertised. I smelled the dank cannabis, marijuana, insane OG, terpenes, whatever that is in there. I smelled it, which is what I was looking for when I bought this. I tasted it, and on the back end, I was reminded of Modelo Especial, and that's what I was thinking about when I was reading the bottle on the way home. This will kind of be like Modelo Especial, and it is. It's a great beer. See what we rated. This particular strain, to me, tends to go way more skunky and dank than I've smoked strains in the past. In my younger days, that were more citrus in flavor, and I think I would have preferred that, like a more citrusy strain as opposed to Insane OG. However, if I smoked it, it might be a totally, if I ever had the chance to smoke, Insane OG would be real, which would be a once in a lifetime experience. It might be totally different. But just in the context of this beer, it's just a little too dank for me, and I feel like I have to wade through that dankness to get to the Mexican lager. And it just, as far as the palate goes, it just, again, makes it a little more dank than I would like in a Mexican lager. However, again, as advertised to a T, if you read this bottle and that's what you're looking for, that's what you're going to get. So on that note, I really respect that it's true to its marketing. I really like the novelty. I even like the beer. One more time. I'm going to give it a 4.25. I was kind of going more towards 4 out of a 5 because of the dankness on the palate. However, it's exactly what it said it was. It's exactly what I wanted out of this beer when I bought it. So I feel like it needs to be 4.25 for me in my preference. I love the base Mexican lager. If Sweetwater makes this base Mexican lager, definitely would have to try that out for sure. Tastes really good. Again, I think this beer is a novelty beer, so beginners and people who don't know much about marijuana, aren't privy to it, or maybe don't even like it, just stay away from this beer. I think that the insane OG character in this beer is going to be very off-putting to you out there. As for the rest of you, you're getting exactly what you want out of this beer. No, you're probably not going to get stoned from drinking this beer. Probably won't even get buzzed from a bottle with it being 5.6%. But it was a very good beer overall. That's all I got, guys. A Be Real remix. Insane OG, Cypress Hill, Sweetwater. Till next time, guys. Cheers.